Hi, Jorge here from Brew, Beer, and Drink It, and today I really just want to say thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, and I really want to say thank you especially to everyone who watches my videos. Thank you for watching my videos on YouTube. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, really thank you. If you subscribe to my newsletter, read my newsletter, really thank you. Sending out all these emails, putting together all these videos really wouldn't be possible without all the support that I've been getting from just about everyone, whether it's been through my blog, my YouTube channel, my newsletter. I mean, I've received some really great feedback on both my blog and on my YouTube channel, and I really want to say thank you for everything. With that being said, I really hope that you have a really good Thanksgiving, that you eat a lot, and that you go into a food coma like I plan on doing. Maybe drink some beer, obviously, homebrew. And today, what I want to do is I want to do a beer review for my pumpkin ale. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and serve up a beer. We'll make this just a little taster since it's kind of early in the day, not exactly noon yet, but I really want to get this out because the holidays are obviously getting in the way, and I want to put this video together for Thanksgiving. So anyways, this beer hasn't exactly had time to condition. It's the same recipe that I brewed last year, and I've actually had quite a bit. I actually took this beer to a party and got some feedback before putting together this video. So just want to put that out there and go ahead and give it a little taste to begin with. Now, two things. The first thing that I want to talk about is last year's recipe. I bottled the beer and I left some of the beer conditioning for about 8-9 months. I think the last one I had was aged about 10 months. And I can tell you that the flavor absolutely improved with age. And not only that, the beer was kind of cloudy like it is right now. It's this is actually pretty cloudy, a lot more cloudy than last year. But by month number 5 or 6, I think, is when the beer starts to really clear up. So if you give the beer enough time, it'll clear up fairly well. Now, one of the main differences that I noticed with this beer as opposed to last year, and again, it's same recipe, same brewing process. The only difference, I guess, between this and last year was that I used organic pumpkin, which I didn't really think it was going to matter. But one thing that I do notice on this is that it has a lot more pumpkin flavor than last year's. Now, granted, last year's, I think the spices showed up a little bit more, and I really like that about last year's. And this one, a lot of that seems to be masked by the pumpkin flavor, but it's not exactly a bad thing because it has a lot of a lot of pumpkin flavor in this beer. And I actually really like this recipe. If I can only get the spices to show up a little bit more like they did last year, I think this will be a perfect recipe. And I mean, I actually like the recipe as is, so I think the brewing process I may need to work on my consistency a little bit more, but overall I really like how this beer tastes. The flavor is just very pumpkiny, like the pumpkin flavor shows up so much that it's well, I wouldn't say that it's overwhelming, but you can definitely tell that it's a pumpkin beer. And like I said, I took this to a party. Everyone there really liked it, and I got a lot of positive feedback on it. So, hey, how's it going? We're trying our pumpkin beer today, and I brought it to a party, so I don't think it's going to make it for an official beer review, but I have my friend here, Jason, who's going to tell you all about the beer. That way you guys know a little bit about the beer. I think it came out really good, same recipe as last year. So, Jason, what do you think about this year's pumpkin ale?
I had last year's pumpkin ale. This year's is better. This beer is, quite honestly, the best pumpkin beer I've ever had. It is the embodiment of a festive beer. It's sweet, kind of a nutty flavor. Everything about it just shouts Thanksgiving and fall, and at the same time, it is, quite honestly, the best beer that I've had this fall season by a long shot. And way by a long shot, as that man over there is saying.
Very not bad.
it exceeds very not bad into the realm of greatness.
That being said, if you have tried this recipe, or if you haven't tried this recipe, this is actually a recipe that I would recommend. And I think I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start putting together a list of the recipes that I've brewed that I really like, that I actually recommend. And so if you want to go to your local homebrew supply store and just give them the recipe that I have, I'll make sure that the recipes that I know, that I recommend, that I like, that are kind of proven, I guess, that I'll make note of that on my website. So that being said, I really like this beer, and so it's a good pumpkin ale recipe. I know I've had some comments about the amount of caramel malt that I've used, and personally, this is the recipe that I came up with, was intended to be a lighter color beer, and not so much a caramel heavy beer, though. For next year, I may actually try to brew a pumpkin porter, only because we have a local beer here that I really like. It's a porter, and it's a pumpkin porter, and so I'm going to try to brew something a little bit darker, just to have a little bit of variation. But this recipe, I like it, and so that's it. That's it for the pumpkin ale review. Hope you like it, and again, happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for watching my videos, reading my newsletters and my blog, and supporting me in this homebrewing hobby. Cheers.